And hello there folks, RJB here, reporting in at RJB TV with game number 3 between GangNamLife and Rabbit. Two players who are true OGs in the Korean fastest map scene. You could argue that the Korean fastest map scene would not be what it is today if it wasn't for these two players pioneering the way, paving the road for 1 versus 1. So far, the score is 1 win for either player here. Yang, Shiki, Sunyun, Rabbit on the blue Terran on the 1 o'clock spawn location against GangNamLife here on the teal Protoss, which is a little bit painful to see on the minimap. So we're going to red versus blue. Red Protoss, GangNamLife, one of the OG Gosus in 1 versus 1 on fastest map in the Korean scene, a true pioneer, a teacher, a sage, a grandmaster. He might be a little bit rusty at the time of this game. He might have been a little bit out of shape. Maybe he wasn't, I'm not too sure, but I do know that he sometimes takes breaks on and off, then comes back, unrusts very quickly, gets his skill back very rapidly, and then performs at the top. But it always does take himself like a week or so to return to that prime shape that he pretty much always manages to get back into. Nexus first there for GangNamLife on the middle spawn, a little bit risky to do, because we have Rabbit there going for a barracks. Actually, yeah, a barracks supply depot barracks here from Rabbit. Goes for a very quick scout. Now, is he gonna go the right direction or the wrong direction? Because that is going to give us a lot of information of how this game is gonna play out. He goes the exact correct direction, and that means that we might be seeing some pain raining down onto GangNamLife. Now, GangNamLife knows that the SCV had to have come from the right of the map. He knows, because he was on the left side, and he saw no SCV on the left, which means the right is where he has to be coming from. Pull some probes, because he has to kill that Marine to warp in the cannon. And Rabbit here might try to fight the cannon, or might try to just walk in. GangNamLife has great probe micro, so the Marine and the SCV probably will not get into the base, but this is costing GangNamLife quite some money that he is going to have to recuperate at some point in the game. Loses a probe, does not kill the Marine. Marine stays alive. Probes are trying to run the safety cannon. It's almost finished. They're warping in. One more probe there on the side. Gonna try to flank from behind or get into the enemy base. Cannon almost finished up. So he does protect the cannon, but it does cost him a total of 4 to 5 probes not mining minerals. That is 6 probes not mining minerals, and lost 1 of them as well. So 7 probes not mining. He has already been slowed down, and Rabbit, knowing this exact fact, lifts up his barracks and floats them across the hill to start a small little bit of annoying harassment with Marines in sight of GangNamLife's base behind enemy lines. And GangNamLife knows this is a likely option. He also maybe heard the barracks land. So he sends his zealot out to attack the fire bats that are already on the way, because he went for a very fast academy. So it wasn't Marines, it's fire bats sprinting for a touchdown, but stim not yet finished up. So the fire bat can't not quite outrun the probes. Running backs not yet on steroids. He's trying to get in on them. Probes running to safety, even more disruption happening. Kills 1 probe, gonna have to try to kill a couple more of them. Stim is still a couple seconds away. Cannons are warping in, almost finished up. Firebat's gonna have to do it now, and they are not arriving there on time. Stim was just a little bit too late. GangNamLife found out just on time. But we have 4 firebats, 1 cannon, now 2. The firebats can realistically still run in with a stim and still get on top of the probe, so we're not yet out of those stormy, dark waters. Those heavy winds are still blowing in the sails, and we're quite unsure where this is going to go. Walks too close to the cannon. There's 2 medics, though, that are going to keep those firebats alive, make them healthy again, patch them up for another run on those probes. Well, here back at home, factory on the way, engineering bay as well, getting a command center as well. GangNamLife is falling behind more and more because he just wants to build up peacefully, but instead of being peaceful here back at home, he is in danger. Although the danger is progressively getting less dangerous as more cannons finish warping in, and I just see a bug on my wall. Oh my god, there's a bug on my wall. It's big, it's massive. Oh my god, how did they get in here? I'm gonna have to kill that bug at some point. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now. Just, let me... Oh, goes for a kill on the cannon in the front. Beautiful maneuver there from Rabbit. Opens up the entire front door. GangNamLife is in even more trouble than before. and I lost track of the bug while I was distracted by the cannon. Let me just pause real quick. And pause the recording as well. Okay, I'm back. I had to kill the bug before I lost track of it. Because, you know, if you don't kill it immediately, it's going to escape and hide somewhere in some nook or cranny or some small orifice, crevice, whatever. It's just going to disappear and you can never find it again until it pops up at some later point. But then it has laid eggs, it has had children, kids, a family, and then you have like 50 of them. So better to kill them immediately before it becomes too late. It's kind of like a Zerg swarm, small at the start, kill them early, but if you don't kill them early, they're just gonna come swarming in as a large colony. A huge fight here happening. Looks like GangNamLife has just enough firepower in those blades to kill the fire bats and the Marines and turn the tide, despite losing his joke. He did have to build a lot of cannons though. And his entire game plan has been pretty much disrupted completely. Gateways are over the place, cannons all over the place. It is not looking clean, not looking nice. But he is still alive, which is what matters most. He has a couple more probes than Rabbit has SCVs, but third commander coming in there for Rabbit. Rabbit is playing this on probably the least amount of units possible. Went for a very fast triple starport though, so he's expecting shuttles from GangNamLife. He put the barracks down right next to the wall, floating an engineering bay up onto the high ground. He built a turret in the front for Dark Templars. Rabbit is just trying to get the most out of the least. And that being, get the most economy out of spending the least while trying to be the most efficient possible. Rabbit is one of the players who is really good at being extremely efficient with his spending. While his micro, while it's good, is not one of the best, while his speed is not fast, but he's still pretty fast, he makes up for all of his weaknesses with very smart play. He just has a weird understanding of how he can spend his money, how he can cut corners at very specific timings to get himself advantages based off of what he sees. He just scanned GangNamLife's base. He probably saw the single robot. There's a second one on the way though. But he probably saw all of this, and now he's cooking up an answer to the question GangNamLife is going to throw his way. Speed almost finished up there for GangNamLife. Still waiting for Storm. Everything just got disgruntled. Everything got discoordinated. That's not a word. Discoordinated? That's not a word. Oh my god. Now that I realize what I said, I cannot think of the word that I'm looking for, but everything is just not coordinated anymore. Everything is just misaligned. That's the word. Everything is misaligned. He had plans. Comes in with a raid. What are the raids doing? Dark Templar in the front. Stops construction of a supply depot or maybe a turret in the front. Took a shot to the face. Still alive there though. We're gonna walk right back in there. Yeah, Rabbit is fortifying his base, and GangNamLife is taking a lot of time to get into that fortified base, but gets in there, unloads. High Templars do not it's just Zealots. There might have been a High Templar in there, but it never unloaded. The Marines are cleaning up the Zealots, and the damage has been prevented. Kills a turret, maybe one or two Marines, but not a drop comes in, finds a hole, the hole is wide open, and any hole is a goal. Unloads at High Templars, storming on the SCVs, they stay alive there though. They run through the storm. Gets one storm on the Marines. So the SCVs have taken some damage, but they're still alive. You know, he found the hole, and the holes are definitely the goal. Wide open hole here on the bottom left of that base. We're now seeing dropships because Rabbit is going to put tanks on the high ground to push towards those probes that GangNamLife has. GangNamLife is going to have to do damage right about now if he still wants to win this game, because the game is going to become very difficult. Oh, shuttle gets taken down by the Wraiths. Wraiths on the exact correct position in the base. Flew right into them. Basically covering the bottom hole and the top hole. But like these two holes are the holes that GangNamLife wants to go into to reach the SCVs in the back. So he put those Wraiths in a very strategic position. GangNamLife though might abuse this newfound knowledge that the Wraiths are in the middle of the base and flying over the top side. Now the Wraiths can still respond in time and intercept if Rabbit finds out about those shuttles flying in quick enough. because it does come down to map awareness and reaction time. Can you actually see the shuttles flying in on the minimap, or do you miss them flying in and lose precious time in responding? That is a very important fact, a very important part, on top of all the other optimizations. Getting shield, getting armor, getting weapon, all upgrades at the same time. Shuttle on the bottom side. He's building a proxy base on the bottom and on the middle. Might build cannons or gateways on the middle. Now in 72 probes, he's flying around. He's flying all the way around, but there's already turrets on the bottom side and then barracks as well to warn Rabbit about a shuttle flying in. So Rabbit has everything pretty much in place on 71 SCVs. Not supply blocked, so that's great. GangNamLife is losing pylons on the right side, so he is in fact supply blocked. He's going to go for a frontal attack, which might work out or might not work out. There's 3 tanks, a couple supply depots, some marines and bunkers. There's not that much in the front to defend. Most of it is in raids in the sky and SCVs in the back. The amount of units he actually has is kind of low. There's also Valkyries in production which take up a lot of supply, so there's an option to just go in from the front, but there's tanks on the high ground. Is he going to unload behind? Yes, he unloads behind, but the Reavers actually only get off one single shot. Went in too quick, the Zealots were not distracting yet, and the Reavers do absolutely nothing. Great plan, but the execution was far from clean. It looks like GangNamLife is getting desperate. The early game, disrupting GangNamLife completely, are making this pretty difficult for him. And Rabbit is also realizing that GangNamLife, you had a good plan, but the execution just wasn't there. Or maybe the plan itself was bad. Maybe GangNamLife is just desperate. Maybe GangNamLife is just desperate at the moment. He has to make something happen because he can feel Rabbit breathing down his neck. Because this high ground here is always something to be nervous about. It's always something to be very, very nervous about. Although Rabbit at the moment hasn't actually abused the high ground yet. Like, he put tanks on the high ground, but he hasn't pushed beyond that high ground yet. So he is giving GangNamLife, either intended or unintendedly, some time to try and throw some punches. So here he's going to take out those tanks on the high ground. Rabbit is going to have to put a new tank on there. Maybe he won't, maybe he will. Raids in the sky to protect that exact spot. Tanks are being put on this high ground yet again. He's slowly pushing forward. He has 74 probes. Didn't build a proxy base yet. He's building gateways on the middle there to... He could build those gateways in his main base, to be honest. Flies over the bottom side. Shuttles get intercepted. Shuttle does not unload. Nothing arrives on location. GangNamLife is struggling. He's kind of wondering like, oh crap, that early game completely threw a wrench into my plans. He's macroing up everywhere. He's building on the middle, getting units, getting army, getting upgrades. Although at the moment, I'm not sure what he's doing. Okay, yeah, okay. I see now. He was queuing up units in all the gateways. Like, I just saw him doing nothing for a short little moment in time, but he was producing units, which does, like, as an observer, you cannot see them putting units on queue in gateways. You can see it on the top left, but you cannot physically see them do anything except because it's not something moving around in the base or on the minimap. But now he's going for a drop yet again over the bottom side. He did not bother to clear out those barracks in the sky, which bothers me a little bit. You have to clear out those barracks if you want to get into the base undetected. It just gives you so much of an advantage to take away the vision that Terran has of the map if you want to get your shuttles into the base. So why has he not yet cleared out those barracks despite knowing that they're there? He's got Dragoons, he can do it. He just hasn't done it yet. The Rabbit here cannot quite unload on the low ground. Actually, there's one spot there on that exact corner that he's going to try to push forward from. Goes for a frontal attack yet again. Hopefully this time around more successful. Raids coming into... Oh, the shuttles are unloading behind the high ground. This time around, he has more success with the Reavers. He still has to kill the tanks on the high ground though, but the Reavers are doing a great job. This time, the execution and the plan were both in conjunction, and it's working out. He's breaking through, but does he have enough? Does he have enough to push forward and break Rabbit's back? Rabbit has tanks on the high ground here. not a lot of tanks here on the bottom. The raids are his last line of defense, keeping him alive. The raids are keeping him alive. He needs an observer in here right now. Otherwise, the raids are going to be a pain in the ass into perpetuity. Perpetuity. The word is difficult to pronounce. Perpetuity. I'm just going to give up on that word. So the upgrades for both players are looking pretty good. We have 0-2 there for the tanks. Got level 1 armor on the way. Got air upgrades on 0-1-1. Getting level 2 attack, 1 armor. Tanks are getting dangerously close. Gateway units are on 1-1-1. Soon to be on 1-2-2. Tanks are very close. Pros winning the safety. Gonna unload, gonna shoot on. Wow, 32 kills. GangNamLife really looked disgruntled, discombobulated. That early game just completely ruined his plans, and GangNamLife really is an early game player. If you can manage to disrupt his early game, apparently you can then disrupt his mid game and late game. Rabbit is a very solid early, mid, and late game player. Sometimes a little bit slow, as you could see. He was a little bit slow with the hill push, but once he started, he executed it with great care and attention. And GangNamLife just never really recovered from getting discombobulated. But GangNamLife has another chance. So far, his showing has not been that great. I've seen games where GangNamLife played amazing. Like in the games I've seen from GangNamLife, he makes you think of Beal's playstyle, but with a slightly stronger late game, in my opinion. Slightly stronger late game. But in these games so far, he has looked weaker than I've ever seen him play before, and that does worry me a little bit. It does worry me a little bit, because Rabbit pretty much always plays at the exact same level. Rabbit does not have highs, does not have lows. That's the one weakness Rabbit has. No highs, no lows. Just always right on the mark, right in the middle. That is what makes Rabbit so great. He is extremely consistent in every single game. So the score now, 2 wins for Rabbit, 1 win for GangNamLife. Rabbit now on the bottom right corner of the map. GangNamLife on the 12 o'clock spawn location, the top middle. The exact same spawn as last game, but this time around he is in a more fortunate position compared to last time. Rabbit cannot push from that high ground, so GangNamLife has no reason to play nervously. Last game he was evidently nervous. He was evidently on his toes. He was evidently not sure exactly how to approach what Rabbit was doing, because Rabbit had disrupted his plans, and when your plans get disrupted against a player of Rabbit's level, you get nervous. Because all of a sudden, all your tricks are no longer certain to work. They are probably more certain to fail. You cannot afford to fall behind against these top level 1 versus 1 Terran players. You cannot afford to do that, because if it happens, you will die. You will die. A miserable death on the map. So we see the same thing happening again here from Rabbit. Goes for barracks supply and barracks, and skips barracks number 3 in favor of probably getting an early academy and early gas. Although, yeah, he's now scouting the map. He wants to find out where GangNamLife is, because he knows GangNamLife likes to play it risky. GangNamLife likes to play it risky by, even if he is on a middle spawn, he will go for Nexus Forge Choke instead of Gateway Nexus, which is a lot safer than going for Nexus Forge Gateway. When you have the double Gateway, you do not stand the risk of getting rushed like you did in the last game, because you're safe. You have Zealots coming out to protect your choke, to protect your probes, to protect your nexus, to protect you from barracks being floated into your base to hurt you. When you go for double gateway into nexus, you're safe from everything. But you do need to, of course, also be proactive with the Zealots that you're making. And GangNamLife is very good at using Zealots proactively. I would like to see him go for the 2 gateway Nexus Bolt Order on a middle spawn, but this time around, Rabbit is too far away to rush him. He's too far away, GangNamLife is safe, which means GangNamLife can this time around do his plan, follow his plan as he had in mind, which means we're gonna probably be seeing a slightly better performance from GangNamLife, maybe a way better performance from GangNamLife, now that he can do what he wants to do, which is get his technology up and running and probably go for some Shuttle Reaver Zealot interplay and make life difficult for our very friendly, lovely Rabbit. Goes for a triple command center. He skips Marine production completely. That's just the one thing he absolutely loves to do. Cutting corners. Well, he's not cutting corners. He's basically just trying to get... He's playing greedy. He's playing extremely greedy. Cutting corners is not the right word. He's playing greedy. Getting command centers as fast as he can to hopefully outpace GangNamLife's economy. But this triple command center build order does somewhat rely on the enemy Protoss not being aggressive after the choke first build order. Like, there are games where a Protoss will go for this choke, then get gateways, and if you have gone for the triple command center, you might be caught by surprise because all of a sudden you're facing more units than you were expecting. Like for that build order, the Proto would have to go for Nexus Forge, pile in a choke, then a gateway in the back, then a cannon in the front, and then triple gateway in the back, Dragoon and Dragoon range. That is an option we often see done by Protoss players who want to catch a Terran off guard. Because Terrans are expecting this. They're expecting one gateway, double robotics, and something with Shuttle Reaver. And the Shuttle Reaver realistically comes out at about 6 minutes into the game, which means you have the time to pretty much just build until 6 minutes or 7 minutes without feeling worried about anything whatsoever. We got speed on the way there for GangNamLife and Dragoon range. He built some Dragoons, so actually he's doing a slight little mix-up. But this time on a single gateway, he's trying to harass Rabbit a little bit, bait him out, and then maybe bait Rabbit out so far that the Shuttle Reaver can actually catch the Marines out of position. So great control. This is what I want to see from GangNamLife. Really good early game control. He's making Rabbit feel anxious here. Because now the question becomes, what is GangNamLife doing? What is he doing? He does have a tank up in the front and siege mode finishing up as well. He went for a very fast factory, only has 2 barracks, but he has double starport getting raids. And the raids can counter the Reaver Shuttle, but the Dragoons counter the raids. There's actually no Marines in the bunker. He's drawing attention in the front to try and open up a path on the bottom. He wants to keep the Marines in the front, away from the shuttle. The shuttle is going to fly over the bottom, but he's taking some time. He's waiting for shuttle speed. So he's fighting in the front, going to try to snipe the tank, pulls back, Marines going to surround, the shuttle goes in. Speed almost finished up. He's going to maybe hit those SCVs. This is beautiful play. Beautiful coordination. Distraction in the front, drop in the back. Rabbit did not see this coming, gets absolutely blasted. Loses all the SCVs on the minerals, and he didn't even notice because he's focusing on fighting in the front. This is beautiful misdirection by GangNamLife. He basically does the original 2 robo build order, but mixes it up by getting some Dragoons into the mix to distract at the front, and he controls the Dragoons really well and gets a lot of results here. He gets very positive results. The shuttle is still alive, but the raid is in between, might snipe it out of the sky. Marines are on the scene, ready to intercept it as well. So getting in there again might prove to be a little bit difficult. Marines come stimming in, shuttle there on the side, gonna have to unload and kill the Marines. There's nowhere left to run. Unloads, Reaver gets a shot off, but kills 2 Marines. Oh my god, those were the worst Scarab shots I've ever seen. And it's pure random. Like, you unload them, they shoot. Sometimes they shoot on 3, on 4, on 5, on 10, sometimes on just 1 single Marine. And there we saw the scenario play out very favorably for Rabbit. Had he lost those Marines, he would die on the next attack. But having the Marines still alive means he stands a chance at surviving the next attack. He's scanning the entire base, goes in with a dropship. He sees so many Dragoons. He sees so many Dragoons after scanning that he changed his mind. GangNamLife knows what he has to do. He kills so many SCVs that he knows all he has to do is keep his own economy alive, out of danger, and just macro up. Get the bigger economy, get more gateways, get more shuttles, and go for probably a frontal attack. I mean, he can break this front door really easily. There's pretty much nothing inside here. There's 4 Marines, another 4 in the back, so you can put 8 Marines in total into bunkers. There's 2 tanks on the scene. There's literally not much to speak of. He could kill Rabbit right now if he just attacks the front with Dragoons and the Zealots. I'm confident, I'm positive, he can break through this wall and end the game. But he is giving Rabbit time, because while we know that GangNamLife can break through the front door, GangNamLife is probably assuming that Rabbit is a little bit healthier than he actually is, and that is a wrong assumption. Instead of that, he's building up. So while what GangNamLife is doing is not wrong, it is not optimal. My voice. God damn it. I need a drink. Oh my god, my voice. I got this really sharp itch. Oh my god. Got this really sharp itch in my throat. I don't know where it came from, but it's there. My voice does not like it. Anyway. So. Damn. Okay, it's gone. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I just felt this really sharp itch in my throat, and all of a sudden my voice stopped working. I don't know what happened. It's still kind of painful. Okay. Let's just look at the base. We see a fleet beacon. He's getting level 1 attack for air. He's getting storm. He's getting scarab upgrade. And Rabbit is recovering with his triple command center. He's being given... It really surprises me. It baffles me. It shocks me that GangNamLife went from killing almost all the SCVs to pulling back and doing nothing in terms of attacking for 3 minutes. And Rabbit might just have enough to defend himself. It's not much. He has 136 supply, has a lot of units in the front, his tanks in the high ground. Tanks in the high ground, by the way, will probably keep him alive. Comes in with a frontal attack. Everything is here in the front. He scanned ahead. He scanned and knew what was coming. Shuttles are loading right on top of those tanks and Marines. Great shots with the Reaver. Reaver actually only gets 1 shot. It wasn't a great shot. I said it was a great shot. It was not a great shot. And the raids in the sky, we're going to keep everything here in the front alive. The tanks in the high ground are doing a great job. He should have gone for the drop on the minerals in the back, but he decided to attack the front. And GangNamLife makes a questionable sequence of choices that I don't agree with. I mean, there's more units coming, but the raids, there's no observer. The raids are keeping Rabbit alive. GangNamLife goes into the backside of the base, ignoring the tanks to the high ground. There's a drop coming in there on the side. He unloads on the high ground to kill the tank on the side. But his army gets taken down, and Rabbit is back on 130 supply. He looks fine. I am shocked. GangNamLife had such a great early game, but now he is making questionable choices in the mid-game that might end up backfiring if he had gone for a quick follow-up attack. Instead of trying to max out supply first, I think he could have ended Rabbit's game right here and gone for game number 5. Rabbit is scanning the entire map. He wants to know where those shuttles are. Finds some units on the high ground, but does not find the shuttles. Shuttles are on the bottom corner. Raids are actually on the flight path. If he'd gone for the top side, which is unprotected, he might have gone in, but he doesn't know. GangNamLife doesn't know that Rabbit has pretty much no defenses in the back or on the sides. There's a 1 turret, 1 Valkyrie in the sky. Raids are in a central position to intercept everything that comes through. Top side, no turrets. Front side, no turrets. Huge wall though. Rabbit is fortifying the front with everything that he has, because he knows GangNamLife will probably try a frontal mass attack. He's been trying that every single game. He's gonna try to unload on the front again. Raids on the side though. Raids are distracted on the side. He might fly in for the home run on the minerals, but he is gonna unload behind the wall again. Reavers unload, gonna kill some tanks, but once again, not a great choice. We have barracks, making it almost impossible to target fire the supply depots. The use of barracks here is huge. It's huge. The use is huge. It's making breaking through for GangNamLife a very difficult, expensive task, as firebats and bunkers killing zealots with ease. GangNamLife makes yet another questionable choice, and Rabbit has pretty much the perfect frontal defense ready for GangNamLife's questionable choice. Why is he not going for the regular drops on the back or on the side? Why is he trying to brute force the front? Was GangNamLife perhaps expecting the game to be easy after killing all the SCVs on the minerals? Was he expecting the game to be easy? Did he underestimate what Rabbit is capable of by switching to giving Rabbit so much time that Rabbit is now completely fine? Rabbit is completely fine. Another frontal attack. The supply depots are being rebuilt. A lot of tanks behind the wall. Tanks in the high ground as well. Tanks sieging up. He's not gonna break. He's gonna break through, but it will cost him his entire army to break through. It will cost him his entire army. Breaking through, getting on top of the bunkers, but the bunkers have firebats in them, and GangNamLife retreats yet again. But he did kill the entire choke. Some zealots walk through, scouting into the backside, actually getting some pretty good information. He sees that there's not much in the back. He sees that there's actually nothing in the back at all, except for 2 bunkers with some units, but there's not much here to write home about. Hopefully, this means that GangNamLife is going to adjust his game plan to try and get the shuttles into that backside and kill the economy again and build himself an advantage. But because the advantage, I think the advantage he had is gone. He does have more production. He's got 8 games on the middle. He's got about 11 gateways here back at home. Well, 12 gateways back at home. He has 4 stargates, so the carrier production is very slow, very slow. Another frontal attack. This time around, I do not see a drop trying to break in. But this frontal attack, though, this time around, the frontal attack with really good gateway upgrades, he has really good upgrades, 1, 1, 2, is breaking through, although we have 1, 2 on the tanks as well. And even though he broke through, even though the structures are blocking, targeting the supply depots, Rabbit is falling behind in supply. GangNamLife is finally, with probably the simplest strategy known to mankind, which is to brute force with gateway units. Like Artosis would call this the monkey toss, the ape toss, playing like an ape. Because sometimes the simple solutions are the correct solutions. But in this scenario, it is not the correct solution. It is not the correct solution. Zealots coming through, gonna try to break through. Breaks through the supply depot, gonna try to kill the other one as well, getting on top of the tanks. He needs some storms in the mix. He really needs some storms. Tanks and sieging, getting on top of the tanks. Tanks have to micro back. Actually, they don't have to micro at all. They just have to unsiege and make sure they don't hit each other. And still no drop. Carriers in the back. 4 of them on the way, 4 of them finished up. Once again, gets in there, but unsieged tanks do not hit their own friends. The zealots don't amount to much. He's now on 8 factories. He's slowly building up. He's got 8 starports as well. And still no turrets on the side. He's completely ignoring those turrets on the side, relying completely on the Wraiths, the Valkyries, to keep him safe from shuttles aiming to harm those precious SCVs working hard in the back. My voice is still feeling kind of itchy. I'm really not sure what happened, but my voice just gave out. I mean, I am coming off of a cold, and the cold always destroys my vocal cords. So maybe it's just a lingering effect of the cold that's really just hurting my voice so much. hopefully in the next video, I won't be having this problem anymore. Hopefully it will be gone. Another frontal attack. Starboard's blocking the supply depots. Like, you can see the supply depots right beneath. It's difficult to click on them. It's annoying to click on them in the heat of the moment. Raids on the top. Shuttles on the bottom. Flies through. Valkyries coming in, unloading the shuttles. High Templar on the scene. It's two of them. Too far away to storm. Getting closer. He's gonna have to storm twice to hit the SCVs. Misses the storm. Oh, he was so close. He got too ambitious. With his desire to hit every single SCV instead of hitting what he can. He got too ambitious. All the SCVs are still alive. Rabbit flies over the middle. He's hunting for the carriers, which he knows are hiding on this top corner. Do we have observers? Yes, we do. Raids? Actually, it looks like he does not know that carriers are on the top corner. He's looking for pretty much anything he can on the map. He scans the middle. He scans the middle to figure out what to expect from GangNamLife. He sees no units on the middle, which means he knows that there is a little bit of time to push through the middle with his tanks. Raid still on the side, flying back and forth, hunting for anything that they can find. Just making sure that there are no proxy bases on the map. Flies into GangNamLife's base because he wants to get rid of the raids, but now we have the carriers on the middle of the map killing those tanks, but the Valkyries are coming in. How many carriers do we have? 8 of them. We have tanks moving into this top side to put tanks on the high ground to make life difficult for GangNamLife. The Valkyries are not doing too much. The carriers slowly breaking through this middle section with their 8 friends. With the raids coming in from the back, we got observers there in the back, still alive. The other observers got taken down there by the Valkyries. And the raids actually don't have cloak anymore because he used cloak earlier. So the raids have to retreat back home. We got more Valkyries on the way in the back and Goliaths being built as well. I think Rabbit should be fine with the Goliaths in production and the Valkyries coming up from the back soon as well. Because we don't have that much army from GangNamLife in the sky. He's building Dark Templars and Zealots on the middle and back at home to attack with. But at the moment it's largely just the carriers doing the trick. He's forced to retreat, has no shield batteries yet to heal up those shields with, so the carriers are kind of like a one-time only force to fight with. He needs some shield batteries to really make them more effective. More carriers back at home. That's another 7. So when these 8 on the bottom go down, he still has another 7 ready to go. It's largely just carriers and Dark Templars. No shuttle drops anymore. You should really try. Just don't give up on the shuttle drops. Do not give up on the shuttle drops. Oh, Valkyries coming in. Carriers cut out of position, retreating to the cannons, but the Valkyries are hunting them down, taking them down. He splits them up, try and keep them alive, and maybe splitting them up will do the trick. There's cannons below that are hitting the Valkyries as well. The Valkyries not doing enough. Correction, the Valkyries are doing enough. The carriers got destroyed. But a lot of Valkyries went down as well, and the Valkyries are somewhat losing their target firing. It goes down in the end there though. Dark Temple's coming into the front, but we have turrets. I have so many questions about what is going on with Gangnam's plans. What is going on with Gangnam's plans? Either GangNamLife is very rusty and out of shape, or he is very rusty and out of shape, or it is someone impersonating GangNamLife, which I highly doubt. I highly doubt. I just don't know what he's doing. I mean, I know what he's doing. I can see what he's doing. I just don't know what he's trying to achieve. Because so far, everything has looked like a brute force, without any advanced strategy attached to it. It's all been rather simple, and I'm not used to seeing simple from GangNamLife. Now, simple does not mean bad. but there are situations where you need to make your attacks a little bit more complicated, a little bit more complex for the Terran to figure out. Everything so far has been rather easy, except for the first 6-7 minutes, which were really beautiful to watch. But the coordination between two locations to abuse and distract and hit those SCVs. But since then, GangNamLife has not been playing a solid game. I must say I am a little bit disappointed in GangNamLife, but I am impressed by Rabbit because Rabbit is doing everything exactly as he should be doing it. Exactly correctly. He is playing a little bit slowly, very defensive. He's not really pushing across the map, not taking risks. Sometimes not taking risks is the right choice. In this situation, it is the right choice. Although I do think that he killed his own... He stormed his own probes. He's going to try to max out his supply and run Rabbit over with superior numbers. This is a very risky gamble that I've seen GangNamLife make before. I've seen him succeed, and I've seen him fail. Both. I've seen both happen. Another 3 dropships going to put tanks on the high ground to be annoying and force GangNamLife to focus some actions on killing those tanks, which should give Rabbit some time to push out into the middle. But GangNamLife is almost maxed out. He's going for it. Zealots everywhere. He's going to try to overpower with brute force with superior numbers. Raids coming in. No observers on the scene. Zealots coming in as well. Oh, the raids are going to party poop on GangNamLife's ambition to kill the tanks. This is just not working out that well. This has not been a great game from GangNamLife. It has been a great game from Rabbit. I've said it before. Rabbit is playing solid. But GangNamLife looks to be completely discombobulated. He looks confused, unsure of what to do. Rabbit, on the other hand, he just looks on fire. Rabbit is giving it his all. Robert is coming in. Tanks behind the high ground. There's a wall in the front. Hitting cloak on those zealots. Scan comes in. Gets a stasis there on the high ground. Runs into the base. Arbiters both go down. GangNamLife is going to burn out of money very quickly, very soon, before he might actually be able to kill Rabbit or even hurt him. He calls GG, just gives up. I am conflicted about these last 2 games. I am conflicted about those last 2 games. GangNamLife has disappointed me with some very weak play compared to what he usually plays. This has been GangNamLife's weakest performance I've ever seen. I've never seen GangNamLife play this weak, this uncoordinated. And I'm unsure whether I want to continue this best of set and just continue and just grab something else for the next video. Because I have lost faith in this best of set. Sometimes you just grab a best of set where you lose the confidence in the quality of the games. I might have just selected one of those sets where I am not confident in what GangNamLife is going to do in this best of set. I know he is a great player, but in this best of set, he looked to be very out of shape. As if he had just returned after taking a break for like half a year. Which I think is the case. I think GangNamLife just returned from a long break from StarCraft, and this was like one of the first best of sets that he played against anyone. So I'm going to call it a quits here. This is it for today. RJB signing out, and for the next video, you can be expecting other names. This replay set, I am not going to finish it. I am disappointed.